All right. You may proceed.
All right, good evening, everybody. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order, please.
I, Margot G.K., the town clerk of the town of Morristown, do hereby state that it is 7:38 p.m. on Tuesday, March 9th, 2021, and that this regular meeting is being held remotely via webinar. Both adequate and electronic notice of this meeting were provided according to law by written notice to the Morristown Daily Record, the official newspaper of the town of Morristown, and to the New York Star Ledger, both more than 48 hours ago. Notice was also posted in Town Hall and on the town website and filed with the office of the town clerk in the town of Morristown. I do further state that I shall enter into the minutes of this meeting a statement that such notice was furnished, particularly described by me in the public announcement. Councilor,
Okay. Oh,
I have a moment of silence.
we're going to do roll call.
Do roll call.
I was so worried about skipping that I now order again. Excuse me. Okay, roll call. Councilwoman Cotton.
Present.
Councilman Elms.
Present.
Councilwoman Foster.
Here.
Councilman Iannicone.
Here.
Councilwoman Mayer.
Here.
Councilman Silva.
Present.
And hopefully Council President Armington will be joining us soon. Council Vice President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask that we have a moment of silence, please. Followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag
The flag.
of the
The United States of America.
to the republic
For
and
which stands
One nation.
one nation under God,
liberty
liberty
and
and justice for all.
Before we get started, please be aware that the public comment period during this public hearing, be aware that the public comment during the public hearing portion of this meeting will be moderated through the Zoom app. At the appropriate time, members of the public wishing to speak should indicate so by raising his or her hand in the app. You will find the raise your hand icon at the bottom left side of your screen. You may also raise your hand by pressing *9 on your telephone. When it is your turn, the moderator will send a signal through the app to ask you to unmute yourself so that you may be heard. To unmute yourself on the phone, press *6. I also have an announcement regarding the agenda. Ordinance number 04-2021 has been withdrawn, and ordinance 05-2021 will be renumbered 04-2021 to keep them sequential. We have one item on the consent agenda this evening. Unless a member of council would like to discuss that matter, I would ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Second.
Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannicone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, I'll open the floor for a public hearing on any matter. Again, please raise your hand in the Zoom app to indicate you would like to speak or press *9 on your telephone. Kindly state your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. Be advised that any derogatory comments targeting members of council and/or administration may be ruled out of order. No comments were received via email.
The first public comment speaker is Hope Field. If you would please unmute yourself and state your name and address to the record, please.
I'm Hope Field, and I'm here with my sister Christina Field, 122 Village Drive, Morristown, New Jersey.
You proceed with your comment, please.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. It's an honor for us to stand before you as daughters to share wonderful news that our mother, Esperanza Porras Field, is running for mayor of Morristown. Our mother raised us in this beautiful town and is a longtime resident. The people of this community have been part of our lives for as long as we can remember. Our mother has given a lifetime of service to our community, To name a few, she served on the Planning Board, Parking Authority, and founded the Morris County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce 31 years ago, where she served as president and CEO for many years and is now president emeritus.
We can tell you better than anyone what a hardworking and determined person she is, but more than that, what a loving and caring person she is as well. Over our lives, we have both achieved and gone beyond our expectations, and we have to attribute that to our mother, Esperanza. We want to offer our mother's time and service to help the great town of Morristown and its people. She would be the first ever woman mayor of Morristown. This is something that would make us all proud, not just because she is a woman, but because she is the right woman, with the right experiences, mindset, capabilities, and passion. Thank you for letting us share a few moments with you. We look forward to wonderful days ahead. Our vision of Morristown, along with our mothers, is to see people working together to make this the best town in New Jersey. We request your support and thank you for your time. Let's make history. Have a wonderful evening.
The next speaker is Elizabeth Hayes.
I'm sorry, Ms. Merrick, if I could just announce that Council President Armington has joined us at 7:44.
Thank you. Ms. Hayes, you may unmute yourself and state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Hayes. My address is 30 Catano Avenue in Morristown, New Jersey. So me and my partner, Alex Van Escar, we go to St. Elizabeth University graduate nursing school. So we actually had a few questions concerning breast cancer screenings, and I was hoping you could answer them for me.
You may continue with your comments or questions.
Okay, great. So the first is, what does the town of Morristown do to provide low-cost or free breast cancer screenings for women in Morristown? Or is there...
Ms. Hayes, once the public hearing is over, the administration or the council will respond to your comments. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you.
So do you have other questions that you would like to add to that?
Oh, yes. I was also hoping that if there were any outreach programs that exist for the town of Morristown access regarding these free or low-cost breast cancer screenings. And yes, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Council President, there are no other public comment speakers with their hands raised.
I will close the public hearing. My apologies for being late. Thank you to Shiva for taking over, I assume.
No problem, anytime.
All right, with that, council responses to public hearing comments. Administration, let's start with you in terms of responses to the Ms. Hayes' questions about the health department, health issues.
I know that Zufall provides a lot of public health services to low-cost public health services to the public. We will coordinate with them to find out more information and get back to you regarding specifically around breast cancer screening.
Jillian, Morristown Memorial Hospital actually holds the Regional New Jersey Seed Grant, which is the state-funded program for cancer screenings. And they very frequently hold free screening services somewhere in the area. And I would suggest you reach out to Morristown Memorial. And again, it's funded by the NJ Seed Grant from the state.
Perfect. Thank you, Council.
Thanks, Bob.
Any other responses to public hearing comments? Okay, we'll move on to Mayor's proclamations.
Okay, Jill, you might just want to just reach out to Trish O'Keefe in the morning and get that information again. Thank you, Mr. Anacone, for that information. The first proclamation I want to read was brought to our attention by Debbie Gottlieben, who sits on our planning board, and is the wife of former Mayor Jay Delaney. And it is a proclamation on the Kidney Cancer Association. And I know that she is on, so we will have this at Town Hall, and you can pick it up there. So this is a proclamation. Kidney Cancer Association, founded in 1990, is a global community dedicated to serving and empowering patients and caregivers, leading change through advocacy, research, and education in order to be the universal leader in finding a cure for kidney cancer. Following its mission, the Kidney Cancer Association promotes scientific advances through 2 annual research symposiums and a robust grant program, participates in legislative advocacy, and seeks to be the source of education and resource for patients, caregivers, and anyone impacted by kidney cancer. In an effort to bring awareness to kidney cancer, the Kidney Cancer Association is encouraging communities to orange up during the month of March as part of the Kidney Cancer Awareness Month. In support of those impacted by this disease, sharing stories of personal experiences with kidney cancer, participating in social media and media relations efforts to educate the general public on kidney cancer. The town of Morristown commends the Kidney Cancer Association and its commitment to providing support to patients and caregivers, encouraging researchers to strive for new advancements in treatments, advocating on behalf of anyone impacted by kidney cancer, and extends best wishes for a meaningful Kidney Cancer Awareness Month. Strong alone, unstoppable together. Now therefore, I, Timothy P. Doherty, Mayor of the town of Morristown, do hereby proclaim March 2021 as Kidney Cancer Awareness Month in the town of Morristown, and encourage all residents to spread awareness for risk factors and symptoms. Again, Debbie Gottlieben, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention and being an advocate for kidney cancer and its cures and getting diagnosed and all the things that go with it. I know you're on, and we appreciate everything you do. And this will be with Kristen at Town Hall. Thank you. The second one that I have is about Women's History Day. So let me read this into the record. Whereas the first Women's History Day was held in 1909 in New York City and commemorated 1-year anniversary of the garment workers, a strike that saw 15,000 immigrant women marching through Lower Manhattan to protest their working conditions. In 1987, the march was declared Women's History Month by Congress after several women's organizations campaigned to recognize the role of women in American history. American women have played a unique role throughout the history of the nation by providing much of the volunteer labor force of the nation, when particularly important in the establishment of early charitable, philanthropic, and cultural institutions in our nation. American women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation in countless record and unrecorded ways. They continue to play critical economic, cultural, and social roles in every sphere of life in the nation by constituting a significant portion of the labor forces. Today, women make up 46.8% of the American labor force, and 57% of women aged 16 and older work outside the home. Women have provided invaluable service and leadership in our American history and remain instrumental in moving our nation forward, and their contributions to our nation must be recognized, appreciated, and honored. Now, therefore, I, Timothy P. Doherty, Mayor of the town of Morristown, do hereby proclaim March 2021 as Women's History Month, and I call upon the members of our community to observe Women's History Month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Councilwoman Mayor, I know that you're, I don't know if you're the one who generated this. I don't know if Kristen didn't write a note, but if you did, thank you. And this will also be up at Town Hall for those who are interested.
I'd love to take credit, but I did not generate that. I did the one last month.
Okay. So thank you, whoever did. I appreciate it. Let me just run over a few things. Council President, Morristown on Stage virtual show this year is going to be Wednesday, March 10th, which is tomorrow. You still have time to go to www.morrisedfoundation.org for ticket purchases and details. It's virtual. It's a virtual show this year, Morristown on Stage. Again, it's morrisedfoundation.org for the latest and greatest of Morristown on Stage, which we absolutely love that show, and the production. It's just an amazing job they do. And hopefully this will be the last time we'll have to do it virtually. And next time, this time next year, it will be live. Anybody who wants to join me on the 12th, which is Friday, if you want to get out early at 3 o'clock, or you have the day off and you want to meet me at Glenbrook Brewery grand opening at 95 Mars and get a pint of each, there you go. It's Glenbrook Brewery, and that's on Mars Ave. It's by what's it next to? It's 2 stores down from the diner. It's the new brewery, and the grand opening is at 3 p.m. on March 12th. So those who can make it, Mike, Mr. Helms, I hope you can stop by. Stefan.
It's behind T-Mobile. It's right next to T-Mobile.
Yes. Yeah.
Is the door out front, Stefan, next to Mavis?
It's yes, next door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm hearing really good things about it.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
I've been
as I posted today, there was no new positives in COVID from yesterday to today, which is always good news. There were 19 over the weekend, but we did get from Monday to Tuesday without any. Vaccination hotlines and support lines are on the website, townofmorristown.org. Just go to the website. You get the state line and the county line for COVID. Just keep signing up and getting registered. You will get called. More vaccinations are coming in now with J&J. So I know a lot of people are waiting to be called. I've talked to a number of people in my own family that are on registration, have registered, just waiting for their call. So follow the guidelines on the website. You can get all the executive orders by the governor. Mr. Pawar, he's press conferences tomorrow for the governor?
That is correct. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
So hopefully we'll get some new data tomorrow, and things are moving in a good direction in the state, and the weather is changing. You know, obviously you saw the weather today, and the next few days is going to be very nice, and at some point next week it's going to be nice too. We're not out of the woods yet. It's still winter, but we're getting close. I can feel it. I know you guys feel it too. Other than that note, that is it, Council President, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mayor. Moving on, we'll move into a council liaison reports.
I'll go first. The Morristown Partnership is going to meet tomorrow. They're actually in the process of self-nominations from the various business partners for membership on the Board of Trustees. Also, they're very appreciative of the fact that they are working with the town and with both administration and other council members on the Verizon 5G proposal in town. And they're very appreciative of the forums that are being created.
Morristown Parking Authority meets next Tuesday. However, just wanted to make the members of the public and council aware that the overall parking is still only 55% capacity. They're surveying office workers now to see when they may be returning. Thank you.
The Shade Tree Commission is having a divining at Lidgerwood Park Saturday at 1 p.m. This is to remove and cut the vines that are strangling our trees, our public trees, to bring them back to health. So if anybody wants to learn what's involved, you can show up, and we're going to get involved with other parks. Also, Friends of Foots Pond kicked this off, and they're going to do the training. Council President Armington, I know you said you wanted to help at Speedwell Park if you want to come down and learn what we're doing. Everybody's welcome. It's a great way to meet our neighbors. Look at Lidgerwood Park. And I do want to thank the mayor, who is going to come out and say a few words to everybody and say hello to everybody. So thank you for being so involved.
Sandy, what time was that on Saturday?
1 p.m. Saturday at Lidgerwood Park by the tennis courts we're meeting.
This Saturday?
This Saturday. And everybody should dress with well, masks, obviously, but long sleeves, gloves, if you have clippers, that's great, just in case you don't want to get a rash if you're allergic to any of the leaves. But all the vines are dead. The reason we do this in the winter is the vines are dormant and they're very brittle, so they're easy to cut, and you'll see the branches pop back up into their normal shape, and then the trees can start growing again.
Morristown Housing Authority, through the program Hangar 3.0 Rotary Club, the seniors at 31, 39 Early Street, 29N, and 40 will be receiving meals every Thursday. MHA is grateful with Councilman Michael Elms for the effort, not only leading this initiative, but keeping in touch with MHA throughout the pandemic to ensure no residents were without food. The MHA will be offering a vaccine for every resident 65 and over, thanks to a connection that Mr. Michael Corcoran did with Atlantic Health. And also they send thanks for advocating for the seniors. They will be called at 475 South Street, which is the corporate location. Mr. Kinar is going to be having meetings with residents at Mayhem Village at the end of April. And the news is that 0 residents will be forced to leave as a result of RAT. No residents will be charged any increase in rent responsibility, provided they are paying 30%. And lastly, no residents will be charged for utilities except at 29 and who they currently pay utilities. That's all.
David. If that's all.
Council President, can I just interrupt before you guys
Yes,
go
Mayor,
into
go
your
ahead.
before you go into your legislative business? Councilman Mayor and Council President Armington, the chestnuts the chestnut flower that grows in Speedwell Lake,
The water
you know how it
chestnuts.
gets choked in those things that are floating? Like, I guess they're called chestnut flowers or something. I know up in Sussex, Swartzwood has the same issue, and they have a group that actually goes in kayaks and canoes and actually physically pulls them out. Obviously, it chokes the water. Can we, if you could somehow with the shade tree look into that and see if, I don't know if the Environmental Commission should be involved in that or more of the shade tree, and if we could start looking at how we're going to deal with that waterway. We've had great success with obviously with the Foots Pond, but this is a much larger scale. And we should probably start looking at how we can remove the water chestnuts from choking Speedwell Lake.
Yeah, I strongly agree, and I think we should also reach out to the Whippany River Action Committee. They have a lot of historical knowledge about this, and so I think that's a great idea. Sandy, do you want to let's coordinate, Sandy, and we can figure out the best approach to do that.
Okay, great. And Kristen Ace, the chair of Shade Tree, is on this call right now, so I'm sure she's taking notes as well on this.
Great.
All right. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. All right. So ordinances for introduction. I believe we have 3.
Yes.
Margot, take it away.
There are 3 ordinances this evening for introduction. Ordinance number O-2-2021, and ordinance amending and supplementing the code of the town of Morristown, Chapter 7, Traffic. May I have a motion to introduce?
I'll make a motion to introduce O-2-2021. Traffic.
I'll second.
Any comments and questions from council? Okay. On the introduction of ordinance O-2-2021, Councilman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Elms?
Yes.
Councilman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilman Mayor?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Council President Armington?
Yes.
Ordinance O-2-2021 has been properly introduced by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on March 23rd. Ordinance number O-3-2021 An ordinance of the Town of Morristown amending and supplementing Chapter 30 Land Development, Section 5 Environmental Regulations by replacing subsection 5.c Stormwater Control Regulations.
I'll make a motion to introduce 03-2021.
I'll second.
Any other questions?
Just my understanding from reading this and reading the engineer's report is that the ordinance, basically the state's stormwater management requirements have modified or are updated every year or every other year or whatever. The update doesn't reflect any material changes from what we have now.
That's correct.
So just want to make that clear for the public. Thank you.
Okay. On the introduction of ordinance 0-3-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannicone,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Ordinance 0-3-2021 has been properly introduced by title. It will now be referred to the Planning Board for a consistency review during their March 25th meeting. It is tentatively scheduled for public hearing and adoption on April 13th. Ordinance 0-4-2021, an ordinance amending and supplementing the code of the Town of Morristown, Chapter 7, Traffic.
I'll make a motion to introduce 05-2021.
I'm sorry, that would be 0-4-2021.
Oh, okay, sorry, 04-2021.
I'll second.
Comments or questions?
So as I understand it, I'm in support of the one-way change. I believe that the need for the increased parking is a direct result of the opening of the Pocahontas Park when they have activities in session. So I hope the administration and the community keep an eye on it, and we take any additional efforts in the future to encourage or support the park and the park users equally with the residents of the adjacent roadways. Thank you.
And I want to commend Councilwoman Cotton work on this issue, because she was very diligent in working with all the neighbors. And also when I saw the ordinance, I want also to commend administration, because it was a very quick work.
We are working on a number of initiatives coming out of directly as a result of the community meeting Councilman Cotton and the mayor had with the residents of this neighborhood. This is the first one, and we wanted to try to get this through as quickly as possible, because we know how challenging parking is really throughout town, but particularly in this neighborhood. So we wanted to make sure to try to get this through as quickly as possible. And we're continuing to work on the other issues that were raised in the community meeting.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yes,
that.
I was very excited to see this because the residents really were concerned about the traffic issues on that street, and this just makes sense to resolve those parking issues and the issue of the traffic coming from both ways, which wasn't making it that safe. So this is good news.
Fantastic.
Okay, on the introduction of ordinance 0-4-2021, Councilman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannicone,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
0-4-2021 has been properly introduced by title and will be considered further after public hearing on March 23rd. There are no ordinances for adoption. There are 7 resolutions on the agenda for adoption. Would any member of council like to pull one or more for separate consideration?
Yes, I would like to pull R54 and R56, please.
Any others? Okay, I would ask for a motion to approve resolutions 52-2021, 53, 55, 57, and 58, 2021.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Anacone,
Yes, but Jillian, if you would make that comment on 57.
Councilman Mayor, Councilman Mayor,
Yes, sorry.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution number R-54-2021, resolution of the Town of Morristown, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, requesting an extension to the construction contract award deadline for the Washington Streetscape Phase 4 project. May I have a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion to adopt R54.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Mayor?
Yes, Jillian, can you just explain very briefly what this project is? It was passed one before I was on council. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Let's try that again. Absolutely. So this is the fourth phase of the Washington Streetscape project. It's a $315,000 municipal aid award, grant award from NJDOT from 2019. The project is currently advertised with bids expected to be received next week and to be awarded at the next council meeting. However, we are asking for the extension in case there's any issues with the bid process and we can't award in a timely manner next week. The project is a continuation of multi-phase streetscape project that started at Atno and Phoenix, where the former partnership style improvements left off. The project encompasses the north side between Knox Road and Conklin, and the south side from Bud Street to Hillcrest, divided into the base and alternate bids by the block. We will award what we can get done based on the awarded aid funds, based on what's bid when the bids are received next week. Mainly, it's a curb and sidewalk replacement using the historically complementing French gray color, which you see all over town, with a small portion at Knox Road having the full partnership style concrete with the white stripe, included. The remainder of the project retains the street lawn to match the character of the neighborhood. The new streetscape lights proposed only between Bud and Hillcrest, with the partnership coordinated. There's also some drainage improvements proposed along the north side, part of which eliminates the open storm pipe, discharge, and Dutch gutter at the corner of Conklin. The water will be piped ultimately to the culvert, and the Conklin corner is subject to the township review as well, since it's over the line. There were no tree plantings included. These were addressed previously under the yearly planting project, and viable planting locations were limited due to the narrow street lawn and the rest of the project.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The adoption of resolution R-54-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Anacone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayor,
Yes,
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R-56-2021, resolution of the Town of Morristown, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, requesting an extension to the construction contract award deadline for the Lafayette Avenue pedestrian improvement project.
I'll move, I'll make a motion to adopt, introduce R56 2021.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Mayor,
Jillian?
All right. So this is a $200,000 grant award from NJDOT for the Transit Village Aid Program from 2019. The project is currently nearing the final design by Colliers Engineering, which is formerly Mazer, and is being sent to NJDOT for their comments for this week. It's also subject to NJ Transit review because it goes under the railroad trestle. It is mainly for a pedestrian safety and traffic calming project that adds more green space in the process. So if you can imagine the way that the road is designed now, you have those kind of striped shoulder lanes that are kind of throughout the street from Ridgedale Avenue to the railroad trestle. This would effectively extend the curb, the street lawn out to where those striped areas are, accommodating the existing streetscape, as well as enhancing the bus stop that's in front of the Staples area. The stretch of roadway will be reduced from 3 lanes to 2, and the project moves the northerly curb line out to the current edge of the striped travel lane, which is what I just described, converting the former pavement areas to street lawns. Miscellaneous sidewalk replacements are proposed at the Staples frontage, as well as the restriping of the bus stop. The realignment is proposed through the curve extending under the trestle in order to provide extended sidewalk width on the south side under the trestle, which is currently very narrow. There's also ancillary curb and sidewalk improvements that are considered. There are rectangular rapid flashing beacons proposed at the intersection with Lackawanna in order to enhance pedestrian safety at the crossing, right at the railroad trestle. And there's also lighting improvements at the trestle as a proposed alternate to be finalized if we're able to accommodate it within the grant and dollars that are provided. There was questions from a couple of council members about the impact of this project on the approved Bijou project. This will not impact it. In fact, part of the length of design that has happened here is to accommodate the Bijou project as its impact as the approvals went through subsequent to the original Transit Village Aid award. There's also been delays because J.C. Pennell has some substantial improvements that need to go into the roadway to accommodate the M Station project. So all of those things are being incorporated into the design, which, in addition to COVID and the world, contributed to delays in finalizing the design. So I appreciate your consideration in helping us ask for an extension for the grant.
Thank you.
On the adoption of Resolution 56-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Anacone,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ms. Berg, did you have comments on Resolution 57?
Yes, so that's related to the grant application to the county for the acquisition of the post office. You may recall this time, well, sort of this time last year, we asked for this council's support in submitting an application to the County Historic Preservation Trust Fund for monies towards the acquisition costs for acquiring the historic post office. The first grant award was for $480,000. The grant program allows for up to 50% of the total acquisition costs to be awarded and allows for that award to be accumulated over multiple years. So we're looking to ask the county for a second tranche of money towards accumulating the 50% acquisition costs for the acquisition of the post office. The primary purpose for that acquisition is the preservation of this beautiful historic building and that's a cornerstone of the green and of our downtown. And we really don't want to see a developer come in and bastardize this building or God forbid, tear it down. We want to make sure it's preserved and preserved for public purposes in perpetuity so that the public has access to this building. The inside, if you haven't seen it, the lobby is just a glimpse of the architectural beauty that's in this building. It was built in the 20s. So it's about 100 years old at this point, and it needs some love. But I think when it's restored, it will be a beautiful location for our townspeople, sort of into the future. And we want to make sure that we're preserving it. And that's really what we're going for. Unfortunately, the post office, we've been in negotiation with them for a while and discussions with them for a while, and we continue to be in discussions with them. They work at a very glacial pace. So I expect that once we do come to some kind of agreement, we will be back to this council to discuss the particulars of the actual acquisition. But in the meantime, we want to take advantage of the historic preservation grant dollars that are available now and have them on hand so that we're ready to go when the post office finally comes back to us. The county grant dollars, we have 2 years to expend the money, and there's no obligation. So, we are going to do our best to acquire the post office, but if for some reason we're not able to finalize these dollars, we're not obligated to spend the money if we're not able to. But we have every intention of making sure that we preserve this beautiful building for many years to come.
Thanks, Julie.
On the adoption, oh, we already adopted it, excuse
Sorry,
me.
adopted it. Yep. All right, that concludes the regular business and the resolutions. There's no new business, no old business. Does anyone else have anything to offer?
Council President,
Yes, sir.
I would just like to say there are times that we get to these council meetings where you see the business administrator, how prepared she is, and how on top of her game as, for running this town. And I appreciate the knowledge and the hard work that she puts in to make sure she's prepared for this council when their meetings come up. She's a clear asset to our community, and we appreciate it.
I agree. In this case, she doesn't have her cat to
That's
sway her mind. So she's, as I have seen myself. Yes. So I appreciate all your help.
Yes, thank you,
Thank you.
Jillian, for filling us in.
Good
on
job.
that.
We appreciate
Thank you, everyone.
And
Thank
with
you.
that, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll see you all Friday at 3:00, right?
Awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good
night.
night, everybody.
Good night.